Okay, so all it says on here is holiday lighting, because that's it. So logistically,
Got it.
Kathleen, do you have any idea where Bay Street Association is with the lighting?
With the lighting?
Yeah. Did you get a quote, or did you hear Dave talk about it?
No,
yet?
I mean, Dave is talking to the contractor.
Okay.
And he talked with me, so he's been in and out of town. He was going out of town, but he was there for our Bay Street Association meeting, and now
Okay.
he's back out of town, but he'll be back tomorrow.
Okay.
But he wanted to revisit the possibility of using those posts. He just wanted to hear definitively that these would be too heavy, because they're not as heavy as the garlands, I don't think. And looking at those posts, there are already those cables going across.
Hi. How are you?
So it would just be much easier if we could use the posts that are in place rather than attaching to the buildings.
Mm-hmm. So that's what he's wanting.
The way he was talking about zigzagging them
Yeah.
and putting more in than what we put in for garland. Is that correct, or did I misunderstand?
Well, he had 17 runs, yeah. Going all the way for those 2 blocks.
Diagonal across the street.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know what kind of weight we're talking about. And that's kind of getting to be our problem, is there's so much
Variables?
information that's missing, yeah. But you didn't think that that was gonna end up working very well.
Well, my concern is, one of the concerns is the height. Can we get the height we want out of
Yeah.
those? And then what I just said was, that it sounded like he was gonna route them differently and have more of them, or I couldn't remember. And would that work? Can we zigzag them back and forth across the street from pole to pole?
I think the concern is that 20 feet is the height that they need to be for the highway.
Yeah.
And some of those buildings are not as tall as the posts.
Right.
So that would be somewhat problematic. Not on that second block so much as the first block, because the buildings are shorter on the first block.
Yeah, I hear you.
So that was a concern. And also, looking at those posts, they're already have those
Right.
looped things in them, or whatever they are.
Yeah, there's,
The
they're
Yeah,
bolted to
they're-
the pole with a
bolts,
big eye
yeah,
bolt.
right, yeah.
There's no doubt
Right.
the posts are ready for that. It's just that, how long are they gonna last? Because these lights will be up year round.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But just be aware that they are rotten.
Are they rotting in the cores? Is it rotting in the center?
We cut one and we cut
Yeah,
one down.
a few years ago, they drilled the base of them and drilled into them to see what was
Mm-hmm.
in the interior of the pole, and the rotten material came out of those.
Ooh, once it starts, it's pretty rapid.
And then some of those poles were notched to put diagonal bracing on, and they took that was part of how they wanted it to look decorative wise, I guess, and then they removed those at some point.
They had those little
They
planters.
didn't
in them.
treat it
They
inside to
notched
keep
them.
it from rotting?
I don't think so.
Oh, boy.
Paint, maybe.
What is the, I don't know, but what is, or if there is any, grand plan for replacing those when the time comes?
We don't have a plan. We don't, because there's some improvements that need to be done down there, so we weren't going to get started too early with that until some of this other happened. Everything's always contingent on something else happening. But, you know what, I think for the time being, could just go ahead and plan on using them until we actually have word that something needs to be replaced,
Yeah.
and then just try to get a pole replaced if needs be.
I would-
Not all of them are in as bad a shape as others. Spotty.
Oh, correct.
And I would suggest,
Mhm.
just if you use it for the lighting, that we don't hang anything else, not the banners of it, but like string anything else up.
Oh, okay.
Across it.
Not even
Pole to
across.
Oh.
No
Okay.
additional
Yeah.
decoration.
And if you're changing the route of those lights, there may be interference with some utility wires that already crossed the street.
Right, I was looking at that too. There's so many more utility wires on the hillside of the street. And I saw some that looked
Look-
very scary when I was
Look real
looking
closely on the orange building.
Like, what?
You wanna be
Yeah,
scared?
what the heck
Looks like
is
someone
going
put
on
together a
there?
bubble gum.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, that was, yes.
What are the options if the buildings aren't 20 feet tall? Because a story is about 9.5 feet, so you barely make it. What are our options on buildings that don't reach the 20-foot height? Because you're gonna have to go up even higher because of you can't.
Yeah,
you can't
because of
stretch the lights
the
high.
arch and the string.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, that's why we went back to the poles. And the poles have always been borderline.
Yeah, they're ready.
They're ready to go, and they qualify for that 20-foot rule that the state
Mhm.
requires, so.
So do it this year and then start thinking of a plan for
Just
down the pike.
keep an eye on them
Yeah.
and make
Okay.
sure.
That sounds good. That's gonna be a lot
I
easier.
I mean, they'll
Yeah.
be strung up year round. The garland now is just through 2 months or
Right.
so. And so if we get a windstorm,
We're
we've
not gonna-
survived it, we're happy, but we'll get them all year long.
Yeah, and we're not gonna do garland.
Yeah.
We're actually not doing garland across the street, so we don't have that weight issue. So if we planned on using the poles, perhaps in the future then, what we can do is be working into our budgets replacement poles
Mhm, mhm.
until we have some direction for downtown, right?
That would probably be a good idea.
The lights are something everybody really wants to get moving with.
Mhm.
Every
And
time I
This
show
would
them,
make
they
it
love them.
much easier.
then we could just, it was the brackets on the buildings and all that that started causing some problems.
Well,
And-
it was the height of the
Mhm.
buildings, yeah, so.
So, and do we have a pretty firm commitment from POPSA for
Yes.
5,000?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes.
We just don't know how far that would go.
Well,
If we added a 5,000 from this
yes,
budget.
well, we have that original, we have that estimate that
Yeah.
they've got for the lights themselves and the cabling, and that
Right.
came in at 6, I think. So that was, I mean, that would almost cover that.
Right,
And
and
then it's
then
just
there's
like-
going to be lots of incidentals that we'll find along the way
Right.
as we get started with those.
Yeah, you may have to modify one of those light strings for length.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it's convenient where it's stopping point,
Mhm.
starting point for plugging it in,
Yes.
and then taking your next run.
Yeah.
And I assume you'll zigzag them back and forth in a zigzag pattern, or
Mhm.
back and forth. across the street.
It's not gonna be one continuous light string.
No, I don't think so.
And, you know, the priority would be this first black section and then adding on, if we can. We want to
To
go all the way down to
second-
the
yeah,
theater.
Right.
Is what we want to do. So, having extra funds available for what we're going to run into in the way of
Yeah.
the needs for that, how does that work with Public Works budget? I mean, how will that work for your time?
Oh,
Will that come out of what? Chimes and Lights? Or what will that come out
for
of?
when we do that kind of
When you
work?
actually start working on the project.
Right.
I would assume that, yes,
Yeah.
it would probably be checked.
So we can't get 5,000 for the lighting.
But you need to clarify that with probably Mark.
Okay, because we'll have to, part of our donation will be the.
Labor?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's not just part of the normal workday?
Mm-mm. Well,
Our-
they're swamped.
Our work is coded and audited.
Mm-hmm. And we have it all, it's all broken down. Our budget
Okay.
is all broken down. Anything that they do comes out.
Okay.
Which is why there's quite a lot of labor in there. And this would be pretty labor intensive.
Yeah, the way it is now, we track everything we do for Chimes and
Oh, and
Lights.
see, another thing is we have to close down the highway for this.
To put them up?
Yeah, for
Oh.
stringing lights across.
They don't do
Actually,
that for the garden?
I don't think we'd have to do an actual closure.
No,
Right.
just do it late at
Flag.
night
We'd probably do that.
with a flagger.
Yeah.
Probably do it late at night, because that's how we do the garland now.
And we'd have to try to do it in the summer months. So we
Yeah.
really need to get.
Right.
That's when we would love to have done the garlands in the summer.
So we're hoping.
If you're doing it at like 10,
This
what time do you do
doesn't
the
look right.
garland?
No. What's that?
What time do you do the garland?
Oh,
usually?
we do the garland at like 2 a.m.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh.
Because of the traffic.
Yeah.
At 6 a.m., the traffic is so bad we can't get in the street.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 a.m., the bars should be closed.
So when you do your work, can you give us an estimate, I mean, of what it's gonna cost to come out of that? So we know if we need to try to figure out more money?
Well, the
somewhere?
chamber hasn't weighed in on this yet, has it?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Well, we
hit
can
the
give you an
chamber.
estimate based on the garland that we do.
Yeah, like maybe
But-
if we knew the garland, just a
we can
sort
get
of a
that. Can't we
ballpark.
pretty easy to do?
Mhm.
We can get it.
Get chamber
But if it's something
business.
brand new, it
separate
may
that out.
change a little bit.
Yeah, it would take more time, and can we kind of separate it out
Yeah.
from the work in the parking lot and everything?
That's a good question. I can ask Brandy.
Or we can
and
just,
see,
you know,
yeah.
if it's 2/3 of what you do, see, once you figure the tree and all that stuff,
Yeah.
that's not broken
Oh.
down. So there's tree decorating, the parking lot decorating, and then street
And
decorating.
usually, we have 2 mornings of 2 AM to 8 AM.
Okay,
And the crew varies.
So it's about-
Sometimes it's
That's,
4 or 5.
that's 10 hours to do the garland, basically.
okay.
And
And this
that's
is
at time and a
just
half.
putting it up because it's gonna stay there, right? I mean, you put the garland up, you take the garland down, so you've got 2 different.
Well,
But-
no,
No,
that's
they're-
2 mornings to put the garland up.
Just to get it
And
out.
2 to take it down.
Right,
But
but,
the lights are gonna
but the
stay up
lights
on-
are gonna stay up. so
Right.
you're
Yeah.
not gonna
Right,
have
right.
to
She's thinking we
take
could
them.
divide it in half, but they're
So
saying
2
no.
mornings just to put it up.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I
get
would
it.
imagine like 1 morning per block,
Okay,
probably.
These are gonna be suspended by like stainless
Wire
wires.
cables, yeah.
Cables.
mm-hmm. So, let's,
Okay.
the 3 of us work on a budget
Sure.
that's really close to what we're gonna do, including the labor.
And then I'll hit the chamber too.
Because-
See if they can do something
Mhm.
with
I-
this.
Yeah, and realistically, I think Chimes and Lights as a whole committee really only has about 5,000 to work with, which would have to include the additional labor.
Okay.
It'll be
And we
Okay.
also need the electrician's labor too, with this probably.
He'll probably have to give you that.
Yeah.
After he knows.
Yeah.
Okay, so you
If-
can see
if
that
the
pretty much our
power source
donation is
is-
gonna end up being services more
Yes,
than
I
it
would
will
think.
be
Yeah, for sure.
towards the
Yeah.
lights.
That's if we can modify the length of those strings to
Mhm.
suit our existing outlets, then that would cut a lot of labor
Mhm.
for the electrician.
Okay, and we'll have to get a measurement on what that should be then,
Mhm.
right?
What do you mean by
Okay.
modifying? Make them longer, make them
Well,
shorter?
Some
I
areas-
guess
the
they came in
plugins
a
are.
certain length,
Yeah.
did they not, these
Well,
light strings?
you can, it's
It's-
like a reel of,
Oh.
yeah, so I think, I mean, you just select, you can either select the length or you can actually just get huge lengths
Is
of
this
it. and
bulk?
then- Yeah.
It's in a big,
Mhm. Yeah.
oh, that's good.
So there's an outlet for every 330 feet or whatever it was, or whatever the length you
Yeah,
decide.
right,
We have to calculate the electrical load.
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's gonna, they're LEDs, so it won't be an
Yeah.
issue.
Mm-hmm.
What he's saying is when you hang your last bulb up to the tip of the pole,
Yes.
the top of the pole, and then you need some kind of
Lead
link
wire.
Sure.
down to
Yeah.
plug
Yeah,
in. You don't want
absolutely.
any lights hanging down
No.
the pole.
Right.
You want that to be a good.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
Yeah.
how would we do that? Would we just start it, and all the outlets are on one side of the street, so
They're on the.
if we can start and stop
North side? Okay, okay. Wait,
on that
keep
side of the
saying.
street.
Oh, so there's, you need the zig and the
That's
zig.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then
excuse me.
Another zig and another zig.
South side.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or on the
And
south
then
It's around the
you
south.
start
That's the
to
other side.
cross them, you just,
The other one. The other north, right?
Yes.
Okay, so outlets on the south side, and we need to get the measurement of what would be ideal for plugging them in so that we can convey that
Mhm.
to Dave.
Yes.
And so yeah, we've got quite a process going on here.
Mhm. There's a
What
lot
we-
of measuring.
A
Mhm.
lot of that.
And you know what you may not have all caught is that George is retiring this year. He's been at the city a long time, and he wants to leave with all his fingers and toes, and so he's leaving soon, right?
What?
Okay.
Sissy, he's just-
No.
Go for it, this project.
He's been here a long time,
Yes.
so we won't have his expertise after a while, and Bill's gonna be here.
And you still won't have it.
Doing all this by himself. It's a very sad story. Although they volunteered to go pick up new lights for us in Reno.
Nevada.
Yes.
Mhm.
So when are you retiring?
This year in July.
Can we do this in June?
Except that he won't be around too much in June either, I understand.
I may not be.
Yes.
Yeah, do it in June.
June.
So, there are quite a few factors that we
Yes.
have to work in.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, so I think then it's safe to say then that we will be working mostly with services provided from the city and the expertise here.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
And just
Bless
because
you.
I'm going, Bill is perfectly
Well, I know,
capable
I do know all that.
of
I do know that.
getting that work done.
I'm perfectly capable of screwing things up just like you.
Yes, so I think that's the direction we'll
That's good.
take.
Yes, that's a lot better.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're moving in a good
Mhm.
direction then. But we still have 2,000 left to be able to put some colored lights up on the poles, and we have narrowed it down to a couple of designs with the most color. But again, what we're working with here is how much can a pole handle? And if we've got the lighting above, you don't necessarily want to have something on the same pole. Is that what you're saying, as far as a lit decoration?
It's a matter of real estate. There's a
Mhm.
banner hanging on there now.
The banners
There's the
would-
bracket and
The banners are what?
wouldn't be
for
a
the
priority.
flower baskets.
Well,
And the brackets are permanently mounted. The flower baskets are not, of course. They come down, but we'd have to,
work around those brackets always.
yeah.
I was looking at those, trying to figure out where you would put that. And
No
that
sense.
bracket is in the way. So it could be above the bracket maybe.
Which bracket are you talking
The
Basket.
flower
Basket.
basket.
The baskets themselves.
That's
It-
something that has to be
Yeah.
modified anyway. The flower basket, the hanging portion of that doesn't work with the brackets that are on the pole. It's
The,
literally impossible to hang them and take them down.
but you do it, so it's
It
not
is?
literally.
about? It's not easy. We actually
Yeah,
did
the
talk to
nursery,
Marilyn.
she's modifying those.
Perfect.
Yeah. She's creating something.
So they were
Different.
hanging down too low?
No, the
It's just-
bracket is a flat 1.5 inch wide band, and
Oh,
the
you
ring
have to get that.
barely fits over that,
Oh,
then
yeah.
hooks onto the ring that's attached to the hanging part of the basket. And so you literally have to bend the bracket to get the ring
Basket
on and
off.
off.
So my question would be, is if we switch gears to the bracket that we'd be using for these, could these be used for flower baskets, do you think, the bracket?
The bracket itself,
But aren't you putting those on the backside?
They have to be on the street side.
Yeah, street.
I feel like looking at that now,
Mm-hmm.
maybe the same bracket could be used. Yeah,
they're very similar, whether they're the right
yeah.
size or not, I don't
Well,
know.
even if you could adapt them somehow, no matter
Could
what
we
bracket
get
you got,
one
if
of
you
those
turn it
little-
right, you can adapt it.
Well,
If
the
we
way-
get brackets that work for these, then they probably could be adapted to use for the flower baskets, do you think?
I don't know, because the flower baskets are heavy,
Okay.
and those are gonna be really light. So-
The whole thing, they're banded to the poles
Yeah.
with stainless steel banding.
They're super
Yeah.
heavy duty.
Yeah. If you're saying use the same bracket, I don't
Mhm.
think that's a possibility at all, because the basket bracket, the
totally
part where the
different.
basket hangs from sticks
Mhm.
out from the pole.
I hear you. Yeah, I was just trying to find something.
Now, we could strip the brackets off these poles out here that the old wreaths hung on, provided they'll fit these new lights.
Why don't you buy those things
Do
to
these
work
come
on
with
those
brackets?
poles?
These look like they come with brackets.
They may come with brackets, I don't know, maybe extra.
Different companies. have
This looks,
different-
yeah,
Do they say?
yeah, it looks like it just wraps around.
Usually they're showing these separately, but
Look in the details and see if
It's
probably a band.
It's probably a band that you, yeah, we have a special
they. Oh, yeah,
tool
that
that
band.
Yeah.
tightens that up,
Mhm.
because every pole is a little bit different diameter.
Right, which is, Yeah.
They probably have a bracket.
I feel like-
And then band them or something.
Oh, look, there's sailboats.
But not
so
at,
cool.
not at Christmas time.
Yes.
That should be for
That's like
fathoms of
Yeah.
fun.
That should be,
That is so cool.
that should be for the
Chris
cruise.
Craft.
Fathoms of fun or one of those
Yeah.
summer
Summertime.
events. Mm-hmm. Well, if we
Yeah,
get the
that's
brackets up
cool.
there,
Yeah, okay.
and as we,
Could we call this company and just ask
I mean, it
them,
looks like-
have them send us a bracket or find out
We'd have
about
to-
it?
You can
Some picture of
see.
one.
Yeah.
Some measurements
Yeah, or
and see what
some
we're working with.
measurement and just have it
There's gotta be a way
detailed
to
out.
adapt.
Yeah, I think
If
they're
that will hold
probably,
plants, which are what, probably 25 pounds.
There might
30
be
pounds.
more than
40.
one.
Yeah, they're really
they're
heavy.
about 40,
mhm.
50, 60.
And when
they're heavy, they're really
especially
heavy.
when they're watered.
Yeah.
That's true.
They
What, a
really,
Buick? It's a Buick hanging out there? What?
yeah.
Almost a Cadillac.
I know. Wouldn't that be fun for a summer
They're
event?
heavy.
When they're full of water,
Fabricate something that will
Yes,
adapt.
that'd be awesome.
Well, if we get the
Just
brackets,
have to find out what.
Then we can
those are
start, we
interchangeable.
can start getting these
And those are
things.
something that we can work into future budgets.
They're so pretty.
Yeah.
Okay,
Now,
I'm
we
just
were
looking to
originally
see.
looking at snowflakes, but if we're gonna have all that white light down there,
Yeah.
the committee's pretty much landed on
Yeah.
the colored lights
Yeah,
for the
the
holiday.
color.
Mm-hmm.
Hardware and accessories. So
Yeah.
they're
So,
Well, just call them and have them,
Well, she's gonna exhaust
mounting
this first.
hardware.
oh, there's a picture of them.
uh-huh.
What do you know?
Yeah.
so there's still a power issue on one side of the street, north
That's
side.
true.
North side of the streets for those.
That's the water side.
Huh.
That's the water side. Always a
It's kind of a rod.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no matter what it is, you can
South
adapt to
side.
those
Right,
brackets.
I
They
think it
hold
could.
60, 70
Yeah,
pounds.
I
and
think
you
it could
fabricate
get
something that
more.
would adapt to
Yeah.
that, clamp it on, hook it on,
Hey,
drill it
Win.
on, whatever. And then you can put any kind of
An extension
colored
cord.
decoration you want. You want.
From my
if you
shop,
want to
all
put
the way
sailboats,
down.
you can mount
We just
sailboats up.
run them across the
It'd
top.
just be a matter of,
fire department
the
would have
easier
a
the better.
fit.
It'd be nice to have a
I'm
hook
just
or something
teasing.
that would- And then,
So every pole plate is 1650.
I'm sure that
That's-
they can, if you call them, they can give you the specs for how much load it'll take. and-
That's cool though. I mean, it's just
Mhm.
like it just pops
kind of
in
a-
there. That
Yeah,
stays
that's
on
what,
the
that's what's
top.
up there already.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's our, that's the same as the
And then
brackets.
we have stainless steel banding and a banding tool for attaching them that we
Okay, good.
purchased for.
So really, it's just figuring loads and plug-ins.
Yeah.
And like you say, there's nothing on the north side at all, is there, then?
Right.
you know how much
There
these
is-
lights weigh per 10 feet or foot?
These are different. These, you mean the display
Those
No, I'm
ones?
are-
talking about the lights. the
No,
strands.
I don't. Dave Jeffcoat has all the specs on
Mhm.
those.
Yeah, 'cause that would be really important to know. 'Cause if you're gonna stretch them, you're gonna be stretching them.
See, now these,
They're on a cable though.
What does it mean
Cable
for-
is-
for-
That information should be available.
Yeah.
What the load is.
Okay,
I'm
well-
sure that it's-
I know the reeds
Yeah.
that we hang on those brackets are very heavy.
yeah, well, yeah, they are heavy. They're big, a lot bigger than people know. Well, these cost $309, and then probably $350. So we're gonna be getting only so many
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
with a couple of $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
We
Just
can
add on
always
next
add
year.
two, you
Mhm.
know, I mean.
Well, we
start-
usually don't have a budget like this, you know, this is kind of,
Mhm.
we got quite a lot, but we can be working on it and the
Mhm.
organizations
Right.
downtown
Yeah,
can.
we
Yeah.
can.
And you know, if
Mhm.
you were wanting to have some of those, like the stars, red,
Mhm.
white, and blue,
Mhm.
the anchor and the boats,
Yeah.
those would definitely fall into the category of tourism
Mm-hmm.
for the festivals,
sure.
which is a whole different thing than it is
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you can apply for that, for
Yeah.
LTAC funds, if we still are getting LTAC funds, which right now we still are, but
Mhm.
you know that's,
I know,
yeah, okay.
bad deal.
Right. So that can be worked in. Don't you think that would be fun though?
Yes, so
Yeah.
fun. That's so
We
cute. I
might
love
get
it.
like Bruce Tice or some of these to
Mhm.
sponsor a
Mhm.
one or two or
Mhm.
during,
Poor Bruce. Boy, he's
He
the
does
first-
get-
He's the
We
first
just
name that
Bruce.
comes up.
well, it's only,
I can
he's
hear him
such
getting his
a
wallet out
big,
right now.
no, but he's such a, well, he's a part of the town. He
We could
needs to
probably only
join us.
do like 6 of these. 6 lit displays, and the lighting downtown. That's probably what we could manage with what we know of our resources right now, the combined resources. And if you can get the chamber to contribute,
We'll try.
then we can maybe take the lighting further down.
Sure.
But as we see, there's going to be a lot of things that we weren't counting on initially. We just didn't know. And Public Works will have quite a bit of time. And again, it's time and a half because it's in the middle of the night.
But it won't be any more expensive than what you've done in the past,
It's all new again, so
most likely. I mean, it's always budgeted for 2 days. For me.
This could take,
For-
if they have to fabricate something. or
I
they
think
run
it's
into
going
an
to take
issue,
more.
They're gonna, yeah, you better count on maybe
And
another day.
we spend a lot of time that's not overtime on Chimes and lights. Which I don't know if that will affect the stringing of the lights, but.
Yeah,
just
and
to
you
let
guys
know.
work on the garland prior to kind of just like trying to fix it and get it.
right. And
Going,
it's
right?
a
There's a
tree,
lot of hours
and then
involved
getting
there.
the tree up and the lights.
Yeah.
Saints Club has volunteered to help us with the tree again, and we're working all that out down the road a little bit. But so
So, but in the normal course of things, there are already quite a bit of time spent.
well, right. But what we'll do is we'll figure how many hours we can actually give,
Sure.
and
Okay.
then
Get an
that will be
Yeah.
right.
See
And
where
then
we
that may
are.
limit how far the lights go this year.
Sure,
I think that's really
Yeah, I think that's.
that's
If
fair.
you put up the lights this year, next year, you'll save money on them. 'cause
That's
you won't have to
true,
put 'em up.
because they're gonna be up.
Right,
forever.
then we can get more
There you
incentives
go.
then.
Good.
It's just a
It's
place
like-
to start.
Yeah.
It's a start,
Yeah.
what I like to see the city and the organizations be a team
Yeah.
and work together.
Pool
And
our
we can
resources.
keep moving on with Pop Sound, sure.
Well, we have been working together.
Oh,
So it's
we
a
always work
continuous-
together, but this is a project for the whole town.
It
To
is.
look up and
It
say,
is.
hey,
Mhm.
these are, and everyone I show that picture you
They
gave me.
love it, don't
love
they?
it, so
Mhm.
I think it's
Well, it'll change the character
really
downtown.
Yeah, I know.
downtown that they can see, is
Yeah.
what I'm
Right,
trying to
a
say.
difference.
Has
Yeah.
anybody gone over to Bremerton and seen
I
Fifth
have,
Avenue?
Oh, yeah.
I like that.
Yeah,
Man, the first time I saw that, I thought, wow,
I
we
know.
should do that.
I know.
and Tacoma too.
I like
It's
it.
Yeah,
just-
you have to have a
Yeah.
reason to go to Bremerton.
Oh, wait
Go
a
to the
minute.
movies. The other day though, I was down there and I was especially noticing how they were attached. And they're
Mhm.
all uniform on poles.
Mhm.
And that's, so it'll look good,
Yeah.
not having them on the buildings.
Okay, so we're gonna get the estimates for time, and then that will determine how far the city
Okay.
can move.
Sure.
And if you can,
Yes, we
the
can.
chamber into some,
Yeah, I'm trying, won't we?
yeah, that'll be great.
I'm their vice president, you'd
Yeah.
think I'd have a little fun.
We're counting on you, Bobby.
Okay,
Strong
I'll
arm.
work
Just-
hard.
This
Okay.
is
Round and
exciting.
twist.
It is, and we'll have to probably in the next couple of weeks, just try to get more information together so we can all move forward.
Mhm.
Um,
Get them ordered and.
Yeah, because, I mean, really, this work needs to be done in the nicer weather.
It does.
So-
Ideally, it would be
nicer
done
weather.
before July.
Bill will be happy to help
I
out
think
if
pretty
you
cool to have
need
it in summer.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It's gonna be great.
Thank you for
Also,
being here.
It will
so,
be.
yeah, you too,
I mean,
when
that-
do we
that-
need to have you
July
coordinate
4th.
for
Will affect
Saints
how
and
many
the
people come.
tree again?
Me
When do we
too.
need to do
Well, I was
that?
supposed to get a phone call. I never got a phone call.
It's just gonna add.
Roger has not called.
Oh,
me.
just, oh, I see.
So I think the ball's in their.
I talked to him just briefly, and he's got the private permission to get another tree.
He does. Okay,
So
Roger
we got the
does?
tree, and he
So-
said he would get together with you about going out and picking it out.
That would be wonderful.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
The sooner we do that, I think the better off we are.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're trying to, the next step is getting them, they want to get a boom truck out there to lower the tree onto the trailer like we unloaded it
Mhm.
to prevent damage to it. When
Right.
you cut the tree, lower it with a boom truck.
Mhm.
So he's trying to put that all together. I know he's tied up in a nasty lawsuit and it's out of town a lot for that.
Oh,
Mhm.
And he's been working hard on trying to find us insurance for the cruise. We lost our insurance that we had for years. It went from $390 a day for the cruise to $4,000 a day.
Oh my God.
What?
Terry,
Yeah. so
what
he's-
company was
he's-
that, do you know?
Yeah.
Huh?
What company was that? It's the event insurance, right?
Yeah, it's
That means-
Haggerty.
That means they don't wanna cover you.
Well, you know,
Yes, that's what it means. yeah.
it's getting more difficult to find insurance for events.
Mm.
We had a problem
Mm.
too.
So I know he's been pretty busy.
Okay.
Oh.
I know.
Well, maybe if
Terrible.
you see him, put another bug in his ear and,
Well, I'll call him this week
yeah.
too. Make sure we get going on it.
Wow.
We only have a little window to make use of the current public works crew.
Okay.
That'd be you.
And then we have the future
'Cause you're not gonna be current.
public works
6
crew.
months.
And he's gonna do a great job, but he's gonna be
Yeah.
Are they
Shy,
hiring-
a guy.
Are they gonna hire somebody new?
Yeah,
Probably.
they're hiring a replacement, but
Right.
Oh, but did you hear the but?
I don't know if
We're hanging on your every word.
Chimes and light specialist is gonna be in the
Yeah.
job description.
Yeah.
You'll have to be certified in the future. You get it by, you know, you've been here.
You gotta love trees, right? Christmas
Right.
trees.
Have to love holidays.
Gotta be able to work like a monkey. Okay.
Yeah, put that in the job description.
Yeah, right. Likes heights, right? Not afraid of.
Well, we'll miss you. Wow.
Yeah. Well, that really was the focus of the meeting, and I think we've got good direction. So.
I have something really quick. If
Oh,
that's
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So at the last meeting, it was kind of brought up about looking at costs through our energy bills, about how much it would be for the
Oh,
lighting
yes,
downtown.
yes,
So,
Look at
after.
Wow.
So
You're
af-
giving us homework. I
Oh
didn't
my
see
goodness.
that.
So it was brought up to the finance committee to see if we can kind of track down exactly how much the money was, you know, for the months that the lights are up and if they could separate it out for the downtown.
Okay.
And it's my understanding that the department came back and said, unfortunately, it's just, there is no way to do that. So one of their staff had actually made a copy of
No.
all the bills
Oh my gosh.
for, I think it's
6 years?
November, December, there's January, and I think it was up to current, just kind of showing the bills. So unfortunately, they said there's just no way to track it, but if someone wanted to kind of peruse these, and I was trying to go through them to see if I can find something that was specific, and
It's primarily December, isn't it?
I believe so, and
From
so,
Thanksgiving to January.
But the thing is
Okay.
that as the year moves on, the streetlights run longer, so that would be a gradual increase.
it'll, yeah.
So, yeah,
And now
certainly you
that-
see something, but
Yeah.
hard to tell.
And with this being LED, I don't know how much.
Well, the ones that we're using now are LED also,
Mhm.
but there's gonna be, it sounds like there's gonna be about twice as much as we,
So
No.
Well,
these are mostly
each
from-
light has a certain draw. You don't
November,
really know
December.
exactly
Yeah.
until you get
For-
them all
for a
out.
number of
You
years,
probably
is that what you do?
calculate
Nope, it's actually
what the
just
draw
up
would be with the
2016.
Okay.
They just kind of
kilowatt
wanted to give
hours
us an
would be, and
idea
then you figure out the
of
bill.
what the bills look like and why they couldn't specifically say this is for, you know, downtown location. So they just kind of wanted to,
Here is all the
So
breakdown.
these
Yeah.
are not just for the
Yes.
downtown.
Each light will
These
draw
are for
a certain amount of
all of
electricity.
it. Oops.
okay,
It's a big bill.
And if they calculate,
So-
you can
I wouldn't
estimate
wanna
how,
get that
you know, how much length, you can then figure out the entire load and then just
Okay.
divide it by the kilowatt per hour or charge. And that's
Okay.
what it'll be.
so who would be doing that?
You know, when I
Who would
see,
figure out wattage and,
I will.
are you,
or
Do you
Mike,
need-
Mike can help you with that
Mike,
too.
Mike DeLine?
Yeah.
Okay, I can get a hold of Mike and see what kind of information he has.
so.
And then get back to you guys, or?
If you give
No.
Mike
Yeah.
the specs for those light strings, he can calculate it.
Lots
Yeah.
of bills from them for each month.
It looks like
Then you'll
it,
be
yeah.
within
It looks
just
like we
bucks.
get.
And just base it on the current rate.
See if it's
Oh,
separated
there's
out.
like a
Yeah,
600 one,
power,
that's
power.
200.
Yeah, so this is all 11/23 dated.
Oh,
So
yeah.
these are all, yeah. So I'm thinking these might be per,
And here's 5,500.
so I was trying to go through and, you know, see if there was
That
something
really is for
specific,
all
but
of
it's.
Port Orchard?
yeah.
Just for one month?
That might be in our
Yeah.
favor. in a way.
11,548.
So it kind of gives
Oh, for all the
Melcher,
streetlights?
Lone Bear.
That's all of Port Orchard, not
Yeah,
just
very-
downtown.
Well, it's all that the city
Yeah.
pays for.
What the
Streetlights
city
and
pays
stuff.
for.
Yes.
So
Yep.
trying to separate it out, they're
Would-
saying is.
Would you have those on a, do you want them all night and all day?
So
Oh, the lights?
Oh,
meter-
no.
The meter that
No.
we're waiting for here
No.
covers the
Midnight
under the
or-
marquee
Not
lighting.
midnight.
No,
And it
I think
covers
that's
the
to dawn.
above.
How will they be
lighting.
shut off?
I think just
Timers
all,
now?
State
I think just all
provides.
night, just
And
us
then
to
it
dawn.
also
Yeah.
Just like,
includes the
just
garden
like,
lighting.
yeah.
So
Okay.
there's
Bill,
three
we have them on
circuits.
timers?
There's 3
I'm
Three
just
circuits
asking, is that what we do
used for-
Now
now?
they're just on all the time.
You guys just go out and unplug them at 2 in the
What's
morning?
that?
Are they-
Oh, they're on all the time?
They're just like
We don't do that now.
an easy way to.
They could
find
be on
them.
a photo cell though, that would probably be the
Or-
best. That's what they
Well,
suggested
I
at
don't know
the,
about that.
Okay, okay,
Is that what
that might, I might be able
Yeah.
to.
Timer would probably better.
Well, it'd be on at all dark hours.
yeah, right. Which would probably be good. Just do the,
How does Bremerton do it?
oh, that's what they do.
Okay.
Otherwise you have to have
When it says not
hourly
filled,
timer.
so I have no idea what that
Which can
means.
get, yeah.
So you'd have to have a timer on each plug-in.
Well, you could do like a solar, I mean, you could do it like if you did a photo
Yeah.
cell
I don't know what that-
timer.
I think you
I
have
don't
to
know,
go
I'm not
back
sure.
to the.
But Dave actually talked to him about that, so.
There's some more
and,
expense too.
Figure out what
Yeah,
sub-account number
Maybe
is
you just put them
assigned
in
to that
between,
Yeah.
plug your
one.
plug, get them
Okay.
in.
Maybe get a meter number
I've got-
and then find out.
Yeah.
At my house, I've got those all over the place.
I feel like it was included.
They're
in
not
that.
very expensive,
Yeah.
actually.
Because there'd be two
Those timer ones
meters.
are kind of, but you know, when the
and
electricity goes
at
out,
least
you have to
six, maybe
reset them all.
seven,
And
eight
if they're all up
circuits
high.
Okay.
around each
Oh, yeah, you wouldn't want
And-
that.
You know
Photo
what I
cell.
mean?
But the photo
They just
cell
read
would
the
be,
meter.
Yeah, I think your photocell idea
Yeah.
is the best
With
one.
LED,
Okay.
I can't imagine that's a big bill.
No, I wouldn't
No,
think
you know what?
so. Yeah.
And it's gonna all blend in, isn't it? I think actually that's better.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't it? Am I?
think you're right.
It's
It
all
is
gonna
better.
blend in with all the photos you write, not downtown, just our light.
Blend in
It's
what,
the whole city.
Well,
It'd still just be
the
part of
bills,
that
the-
picture.
Be the picture.
I mean, it's not gonna cause the bill to go up.
I'm trying to say it's not gonna
Yeah.
cause the bill to go up $4,000.
Yeah.
Well, by the
okay, I'll
time,
pretend-
They
I'll
like
pretend I understood
17,
that.
ding, 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 ding.
right,
Doesn't seem like
and
it.
we can't separate it out much, except Clancy's gonna try to figure
Yeah,
as much
what
as
it would be.
possible
I just need
the
to
draw.
know what lights were and what each bulb draws.
I can talk to Mike and see if he has that.
What the
Is this-
length
is
is.
this
and
a
we can
first
figure
time
out
of
how
LED
far it
lights?
goes.
No, we've had LED lights before, but we're talking about these string of lights that are gonna stay on all year round downtown.
Uh-huh.
And they look kind of like patio lights.
Oh, okay.
And they're gonna be high up above the street.
What's the?
And-
I was gonna say, I started
Color
getting lamp in the
temperature,
fire
is it
station
blue
about
or
5 years
Or-
ago.
With LEDs?
With LEDs, and I got
Yeah.
some more money back
Blue
from
ones,
rebates
yeah.
than I did
Like a
I don't-
fluorescent.
cost to
Yeah, I
put the
don't like
LED in.
Oh,
No,
that's
it's not the
a-
look.
Makes you
It's
feel
not
like I'm in an
the,
office.
it's not the
Yeah, you should look
antique
into that.
look.
Okay.
Yeah, good.
Good suggestion by Terry is to look into a possibility of rebates from the power company for the LEDs.
I started doing the fire stations 5 years ago, and we do a station each year, and we get a nice rebate check back.
Wow.
Now you
Won't
can
they
pay for
that
the
if we went
insurance
from
for the cruise.
incandescent to LEDs? But
Yeah.
we're going from LED to LED.
Mostly, but you know, downtown when Bay Street Popsa hangs all of those icicle lights and
Mhm.
everything.
Those aren't,
It's
those
using
are
a lot of
incandescent.
electricity.
It is using, it's a big draw.
Yep.
They
We don't
owe
do
us.
that anymore.
They owe us money,
Yeah.
I can feel that.
Well, this is a lot of homework and
Yeah.
a good start.
Yeah.
And what we want to do is, our hope is that we would actually have these lights hung by July 4th.
Yep.
That's a pretty, I mean, that's pretty hard to do, I think. But it
I
would
think
be
we can
nice
do
to
it.
have it,
Well-
wouldn't it?
Yes,
That's
we're gonna,
true.
that's our goal.
That's it,
It's
you-
nice
we're
to
doable.
think it's
April,
doable.
When
May,
you say
June.
June.
Yep.
Yeah,
Three
three
Say
months.
we.
3 months.
Depends on how long it takes to get them.
We-
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will.
So-
I'm not good, I'm not good.
Probably
Yes.
talking, you know, a few weeks.
Kathleen and I
to get
together.
things settled out,
We
and
get
then
up on
off they
letters.
go.
Yes, we do.
Well, maybe
We're not
we
afraid
could
of that.
reserve some time in Public Works in June for
Yeah.
hanging these lights, like the beginning of June.
Perfect.
2 a.m.
It's just too heavy.
May, let's push it to
Short
May.
timer.
You wouldn't be here.
How long has this been going on?
Oh my gosh. A while.
Too long.
10 years, huh?
32.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh, well, okay, that's it.
Okay.
Well, you'd have,
Thank you.
you know you'd have to coordinate that to our bosses.
Oh, I do know that.
Yeah, okay.
Janine, will you send me the info on the bulbs?
Definitely.
Yeah.
How many there are
Okay, there
per-
is a boss
How many?
ahead
Yeah,
of
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
darn.
Each one draws.
Sounds
And then
good.
I can
Yep.
go down there and I can measure and calculate.
Kind of calculate it. Okay.
Okay, yes, we will have to, well, and it's not like Public Works doesn't have anything going on. I was in utilities this morning and it's just, oh, don't we have a lot as a city? From new wells to big street projects to sewers,
Crazy.
pumps and everything else. But we can do this, team, we can
Yeah.
do this.
We can.
Yeah, all right, this is it. Thank you very much for making time to come. All right.